So you are all at the free webinar, Taking Your Website to the Next Level. And this webinar is being brought to you by Situated Research, which is my company located here in Chicago. And my name is Michelle Ann Sherritt, and I'm the Vice President of the company, and I'll be your speaker today. After today's session, it will be recorded, so you can go ahead and view it on YouTube, on our website. We are even on iTunes, so you can look up our podcasts and download it to your iPod and listen to us wherever you want. What I do ask is that you write your questions during the webinar as you think of them. So in your upper right-hand corner in the questions box, type your questions as you think of them. That way when we get to Q&A at the very end, we can answer those questions in order, and if we need to go back and look at slides, we can go ahead and do that. After today's session, if you have any questions that I didn't get to answer, or any questions that come to you over the next couple days, email me at info@situatedresearch.com, and I'll get back to you right away with those answers. You are all going to be muted for today. We have over 1,000 people attending, actually almost 1,500. So if any of the audio cuts out or any of the video, just let us know in that questions box, and we'll go ahead and take care of it. And we hope that you'll enjoy today's session. I like my webinars to be enjoyable. Integrated within our webinar today, we have some polls where I'll be asking you some questions, so kind of keeping you guys awake and alert and keeping you within the conversation as well. So what we're going to cover today is we're going to talk about how to turn your business into a social enterprise and how to do that. And we're going to also discuss the effective way of blogging, so effective blogging practices to get your content shared out there by people, and start with positive discussions about your product or business. We're also going to discuss generating leads through social media and getting visitors to your website, how to push your message out to pull clients in. We're also going to talk about research-proven best practices for selecting interactive, usable website content. And we'll also discuss the integration of your brand on your website, ads, apps, social media pages, and company blogs. So a lot to cover today. This session used to be an hour and a half, so we've condensed it, tried to condense it down to an hour today. We might go a little over, so if you do need to leave right at 4 o'clock, don't feel bad doing so. Again, this webinar will be recorded. So before we could talk about anything today, we have to talk about social media. And we actually just completed our Social Media 101 series last week. It consisted of 4 videos, 4 webinars where we discussed different things about social media, how to get the word out there about your business, what content to develop. So check out that series to learn more. But right now we're just going to give you a little introduction to social media. And so some people, don't know what social media is, or they don't use it within their company, or they have a department that does it for them, so they're not really familiar with it. Social media is the collection of tools and online spaces available to help individuals and businesses to get their information out there and to communicate any needs that they have. Platforms that allow this, help you to share content, discuss content, post videos, stories, etc. Basically, social media helps you to network with people around the world from your office. And such platforms are Facebook, blogs, Twitter, Delicious Digs, Plaxo, LinkedIn, MySpace, Ning. There's tons of platforms out there for social media for these purposes. Now, just a brief history on social media. Social media really isn't anything new. It didn't start in the year 2001 as everybody suspects. It happened really in 1997 where forums started to be put on the internet and where people could start transferring and giving each other information and sharing information. And actually it started way before that with the telephone. If you actually think about it, when the telephone was introduced, people started to be able to communicate with people around their own area at first, and then it expanded, and now we can talk to anyone around the world, and we can share ideas. We can share anything that we want with them. So social media really has been around forever. So some people say, yeah, social media this, social media that, blah, blah, blah. I really don't see the benefits in using social media. Well, here's a chart that I found on a website that shows you the benefits of social media. And so the top #1 benefit is that it generates exposure for you and your business. You get the word out to so many more people that otherwise you wouldn't be able to reach. The second thing is that you get to increase traffic to your website. You get subscribers to your blog that will follow you whenever you put up a new blog post. You get to improve your search rankings for your website as well so that people can find your website more easily because more traffic's coming to it. And there are many other benefits that are listed here. Those are the top 3 that I like to talk about. So some people say, well, you know, I belong to these social media groups, and so I want to know, why do you belong to them? Most of the time, companies belong to social media outlets because they want to network and they want to get their business known. But what's the #1 reason why we belong to these networks, honestly? It's to make your business money, right? We're all trying to sell something. We all have a service. We all have a product. We all have something that we're trying to sell. We want to benefit from being on these social networks is the bottom line. So how do we go about this? Today we're going to review the top 5 requirements for website success. We're going to actually talk about your company's website and how to make it successful. We're going to discuss social media marketing. We're also going to talk about integrating social media into your company website and what are the best practices to doing that. We're also going to talk about SEO, or search engine optimization. We're going to discuss why it's important, and we're also going to talk about the different areas of SEO. And lastly, we're going to talk to you about usability. Situated Research is all about usability and the overall user experience. And we apply that to websites that we design. We apply that to SEO that we do for websites, any social media packages, software. All of our divisions of our company are all based on the user experience and making it better. So we will discuss usability today and how to make your website more user-friendly. So let's discuss the top 5 requirements for website success. So right now we're specifically going to talk about your website and how to make it better, how to make it successful. And the top 5 requirements for doing such a thing is, the first thing is your website has to be professional and it has to follow usability web design. And we're going to talk about what that is. It has to have keyword research. A lot of people say to me when we have a free usability report that we do. And in there we talk about keyword research. And people say, well, I'm being told that keywords aren't as important anymore. They are important. Google still uses keywords embedded within the code of your website. So it's important. Google's the #1 search engine. So you have to have those keywords in there, and they have to be specific to your industry, to your website. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about content within your website. How do you make it successful? How do you know what content to post and what content not to? We're also going to discuss inbound links, what those are and how you get them. And then how do you develop an SEO plan? What is that? So if you're not techie and you're in the marketing department or you're in a different department, still take notes here because this is pretty basic information that your website should have. And so you can kind of give this list to your IT department and say, hey, does our website have this or not? And they can say, oh no, you know, we didn't do keyword research, or we didn't integrate social media, or whatever the case may be. And so you're going to definitely help the success of your website by just taking notes today. And of course, they can always watch the recording as well. So let's talk about the first requirement in our top 5 requirements for website success, and that is the website professional, and does it follow usability web design? So this is the most important factor to your website success. And research by Jean Lingard, who published in Behavior and Information Technology, showed that when people go to a website, when they do a Google search and they click on a website, it takes them 50 milliseconds to make an impression. So it's kind of like a first impression when meeting someone. You kind of generate an opinion right away. Are they loud and obnoxious? Are they rolling their eyes at what you're saying? You form an opinion very quickly. Think about it. When you go to a website, you do the same thing. If it looks crowded and overwhelming, you leave right away. If it has an avatar, meaning a lady or a gentleman who just starts talking to you and is animated, You either try to click them off, try to click all over the screen to shut them up, or you leave the website. If they have too much information and you're getting information overload, you leave the website. So, and it only takes you 50 milliseconds to make that decision if you're going to stay or if you're going to leave. So what are the characteristics of a professional web design? First of all, you have to have a professionally designed logo on your website. So many small businesses come to you, Situate Research, to be a client, and they want a website design, but they don't have a logo. And so we say to them, well, you know, first we would need to design a professional logo for you with our graphic design and marketing department. And they say, well, I really don't have the funds to do that. You really need to have a professionally designed logo because it helps you with your branding. It helps to connect people to your business, to what you're selling. And the main thing as far as web design goes is graphic design. Graphic designers play off of your company logo when designing the graphics for your website, picking the colors, etc. Otherwise, it's just a whim. They're just picking random colors and there's nothing to go off of. And so you really want to gain customer trust with having a company logo. And then you want it to make sure that it's professionally designed, that you're not using clip art and you're not just using fancy lettering for your logo. So these are all things to think about. You also have to think about the layout that's accepted with usability standards. So what this means is that when we design a website for someone, we do what we call a wireframe, and we'll go through that in just a moment. And basically, we show clients where items will be laid out on each page of their website. And then we actually have users come in and test those paper prototypes to make sure that that's exactly what they want to see on that page. Or maybe they say, you know what, putting a video on the home page isn't a good idea. You know, users who are going to come to this website don't want to see a video on the home page right away. So we take in that information and we adjust accordingly. You want to also have intuitive navigation, and this is when you bring in an information architect who helps you to actually go through the menu navigation and figure out what menu options do you need and what menu options do you not need, because those are pages within your website that aren't really doing anything for your users, so you have to look at that as well. You also have to make sure that the content within the website is persuasive, relevant, and is giving a good message to your users. It's a good call to action. You want people to come to your website and order your product or ask you about your services. That's the whole point. You just don't want to have a business card on the internet, which is what a stagnant website is. And you want to make sure that you have appropriately designed and utilized graphics. And so that kind of ties back, we've already talked about that with the professionally designed logo. So let's discuss keyword research. Like I said, a lot of people who attend this webinar in the past always email me and say, I heard that keyword research isn't that important anymore. If Google is looking at keywords, it's important. So you need to do your keyword research. But before we talk about keyword research, we have to talk about search engine optimization, or SEO. So search engine optimization is just basically the process of improving the volume or quality of traffic to a website from search engines via search results. So the keywords that you type in when you go to Google to find something, those keywords that you think your users are going to put in there to find your website, to bring up your website, you need to have embedded within the code of your website. So many things can be done to increase your SEO score, but the most important thing is your keyword research. Look at what your competition's doing. Ask your users, what keywords are you putting in that are bringing up our website? So if this step is missing, you're not going to really get that much traffic to your website. All efforts to this point are useless. So you have to build building blocks of high quality content on your website. Because what's going to happen is the content on, let's say, your home page. Okay, your content has to be well written. It has to be marketed towards your users, but it also has to contain the keywords that you embed for the code on that particular page. If it doesn't, Google will not even index that page of your website. You want Google to index every page of your website. So in order to do that, those keywords, after you choose them, have to be embedded within the content of your site. If they're not, Google will just pass up that page and go to the next page. And if you have too many pages like that, they're going to bypass your website altogether. So it's the building blocks. So you have to have a clear understanding of what keywords to use. So there are some principles of keyword research, and those are to determine the keywords used by potential customers to find the products and services that you're supplying. So here at Situate Research, some of our keywords are websites, web design, usability, and so on and so forth. These are keywords that people plug in to Google or to Bing or whatever search engine, and it pops up our website. We've also done competitive research in the keywords and phrases used by our primary competitors. We want to do our market research, and this is the market research step of our business plan. And we want to make sure that we have those keywords embedded within our website as well. So an example of this is we'll put in Naperville web design, we'll put in user-friendly websites, usability testing in Naperville, et cetera, et cetera. So this will bring up our website with our competitors when people type in these keyword phrases. Some other principles continued here is what is the competitiveness of specific keywords and phrases? How many sites are attempting to rank for these selected keywords? So our competition, how many pages of our competition's websites have these same keywords? So this is all done within your market research step. You have to research 3 to 4 word keyword phrases for highly targeted traffic and the improved likelihood of ranking well in search engine results. So let's discuss content. Your content on your website, again, has to contain those keywords, but it has to be relevant and fresh content. So many times clients come to us and they have content for their website and they've embedded the keywords, but they've gone overboard. The content just doesn't make any sense, and the users who are testing the website are like, hey, this content doesn't make any sense, and I can tell exactly what they're doing. So you have to make sure that it's relevant and fresh. The primary reason visitors come to your site is to either get information, learn more about your product or what you're selling, learn about your pricing, and or start discussions on your blog. Those are usually the 4 reasons why people come to a website. So your primary tool for getting your business's message to your customers is through your content. So it has to be up to date. It has to be informative. It has to be relevant. It has to be interesting. But it also has to contain SEO, so keyword research. So why is content so important? You have to have high quality content because this encourages people to link to your website. So this is getting us sort of into link building, which we'll talk about later. Search engines look favorably on fresh, relevant content. So usually for our clients, we say change up your content every 6 months, okay? Because that keeps the search engines ranking your website, keeps them ranking your web pages. So your SEO score is higher. You're going to be found quicker on the internet when someone does a search. It provides search engines the information required to properly index your web pages for relevancy, and it offers numerous opportunities for the integration of keywords and keyword phrases within your content. So now I want to discuss with you user-friendliness of your website. And I love this little photo that I found, and it's a lady sitting in front of her computer screen, and she's getting punched out by the screen. She's gone to a website, and she says, I thought you were supposed to be user-friendly. How many times have you gone to a website where you've had to use a shopping cart or search around the website to find a specific piece of information that you went there for, and you can't find it? Or it's taking 10 steps just to order a product. Or you have a form that you have to fill out to get more information, and it's just asking you to fill out all of this information in all of these fields. And you're like, I don't want to give this information. I don't want people to know this information. So you leave. The website wasn't user-friendly. What makes a website user-friendly is that information is readily available right away. When someone gets to the website, they can figure out how to find out the information that they came there for in the first place right away. Any forms that need to be filled out are easy to fill out. Not many fields for people to have to fill out. Very limited information being asked. The content is relevant. Every link on the website works. And you found it through a search engine very easily. So by usability, we want to make sure that we have an effective website. An effective website is one that allows customers or users to achieve their goals quickly. It's one that has a high conversion rate from visitors to leads to sales. An effective website meets business objectives, and it delivers a positive brand image. An efficient website provides answers quickly, follows a logical sequence. It doesn't waste resources, meaning it doesn't have pages on the website that aren't needed, where users are like, hey, you put this content on the home page, why is it on this page as well? I already read that. And an efficient website also requires less content management time. Good usability on a website means that you have a satisfied user. The user was able to achieve their goals on your website, whether that was to find information, find out more about your pricing or product or service, or to order a product. A satisfied user enjoyed their experience while being on your website, because what that's going to do is that user will tell other people. And then those people will tell other people. And that original person will come back again. So you want to make sure that you have a satisfied user. So I told you that when you're designing a website or redesigning your website, you have to think about the layout of each page of your site. So where are photos going to be placed? Where's content going to go? Forms, banners? Are you going to have banners? The positioning of everything is very important. So here's Situa Research. Whether we make a new website or redesign a site, we always bring in users to test the current website so we can figure out what's wrong. What's not working for users right now? Then we develop a new plan. So we develop wireframes. And so wireframes, again, are just the blueprint of each page of your site. So where's your logo going to go? Your menu navigation, photos, testimonials, information, whatever. And then we take those paper prototypes and we bring in users again. And we have them go through the paper prototypes as they would on a physical website that was built for them. And we go through and we pick out all the glitches, we pick out all the problems that a user would have, what the user is expecting, what their expectations are, etc. And then we redo the wireframes. What this whole process does, it doesn't take very long at all. It's about a 2-week process. And what it does is it makes your website user-friendly. It makes people want to stay on the end product. And it's a proven research method. It works. We also design sitemaps, so your menu navigation. So whenever you redesign your website or you build a new website, you want to make sure that whoever you go with is supplying you with wireframes. They're supplying you with sitemaps. And when you get that sitemap of your menu navigation, just make sure that it's not too deep, meaning you have too many layers, because then information will get buried. Think about every layer. A person who goes to your website has to click and try to find that information. And you don't want it to be too wide. You don't want to give your users too many options. So make sure that they supply you with a wireframe and a sitemap, because if they don't, that just shows their inexperience. Make sure that usability testing is done. Make sure that they actually bring in users and test your website every step of the way. So here at Situa Research, our main focus is to keep end users always in mind. So all these different areas of usability we look at. And actually here at Situa Research, we have a PhD on staff who specializes in all of these areas. And Dr. Sherritt conducts many tests on your website before it's released. So it gets out all the glitches, all the bugs. We have users who have a good user experience at the end, and you get an exceptional product. So just something to think about if you're thinking about redesigning your website or developing a new one. Also here at Situa Research, we offer a free evaluation of your current website. So this is called our free usability report. And we briefly go over your current website. We actually have 5 users who test your website. We give them different tasks to complete on your website. And it gives you a professional profile. We look at 20 different areas of usability, from your content to your menu navigation to the layout of your pages and the user experience. We give you all of that feedback within 1 day. And so those are just some testimonials there about the report. And it's really simple. You just go to our website and go to the website section and click on Free Usability Report, fill out the form, and within 24 hours you get a report. We actually have an account exec who goes over the report with you and answers any questions that you might have. So just something to think about if you're interested in that free evaluation. So what's next? At this point, you now have a professionally designed website with the right keywords, integrated into great content. A great start. But without high quality inbound links to your website, it's unlikely to do well in search engine results. So now we're going to talk about inbound links. Search engines use these inbound links to determine the importance of your website. So basically, what it all boils down to and what SEO all boils down to is how popular is your website? Do you have a lot of traffic coming to it? And if you do, what kind of traffic is it? Is it just people who are trying to get the word out about their company that are linking back to you? Or is it really people who are related to your industry, related to your website, related to your company? So they look at inbound links. So the more inbound links you have, the better. The more popular your website is, Google will search it. They will index it. So this does take time. This can take anywhere from 1 to 5 months before a search engine will recognize your site as being important, before they will start ranking every page of your site. So inbound links, getting those up is very important. So some things to consider is that you want to obtain links from relevant websites. So many times every week I get an email from someone, and I'm sure you all have too, where they say, oh, let's swap links. I'll put your link to your website on my website and you do the same thing. That does nothing. What that does is, if I did it, it would clutter up my website. It would help people to get to their website. Most of the time, it doesn't have anything to do with our company or services that we offer. We're not giving any benefit to our users. And if I did that, users would know what we were doing. It's great to help out other companies only if they're relevant to your industry, to what you're selling, to your services. Is it going to benefit your users to share this link on your website as a resource? 80% of the time, no. These people are just spammers. So if you get an email like that, ignore it, delete it, unsubscribe, tell them to buzz off, do whatever you want. But don't do it. So many times clients come to us and they want Google ads cluttered on their pages for search rankings. They want for extra income. They want links, integrate within their website to companies that aren't even related to their industry or their company. And so we always say, you know what? It's a company policy not to do that. We will not do it. So if you ask us to do it, the reasons why we don't, and I list them just like I just did, and they usually get it right away. But as a company, we have a policy where we won't even do it. We won't do Google ads. We won't do link building with people who are not relevant to your industry or to your website or to your users. So something to think about. You want to use topic-specific and local directories when link building. So Google local business listings are good. You can list your contact information and a map to your company. You can also use link anchor text, and this is just the visible, clickable text within your content. And this will help you to link build as well. And you can obtain links to pages other than just the home page. You can do this on any page of your website. So the key to inbound links is that you have to have a company blog. I'm big on company blogs. I'm big on social media. So if you come to us for a project and you don't have a company blog, I'm going to insist that you get one. Doesn't mean that you have to do it, but I'm gonna push you a little bit to do that, because the information that you put on your blog is going to get more visitors to your website. It's going to help you to link build. It's going to help you with SEO. It's going to help you in so many different ways. It's also going to show that you know what the heck you're talking about within your industry. You're sharing information. So we have in the Social Media 101 series all about blogs and how to do that, and people think it's really overwhelming, and it's not. So check that webinar out, that recording. So having a company blog, you can dig your posts, tweet about them. You can put Facebook marks on all your posts. You can spread the word very easily. And you get to link and build yourself links to your website with no real time investment at all. Posting good information on your blog and having subscribers to your blog, they're going to go ahead and spread the word for you. You really don't have to do anything. So make sure that you have a blog integrated within your website. Very, very important. You want to launch a business blog ASAP, no matter what industry you're in, because there's information that you can share with your users once a week. There's something. If not, then your industry is boring, and no industry is boring. There's always information that you can be sharing that would help users. You can also do article marketing. So this is just a type of advertising in which businesses write short articles related to their respective industry on a short topic. We just did one on the differences between different content management systems, so WordPress, Drupal, and Joomla. We have clients who say, well, which one should we use for a content management system? You know, what are the pros and cons? So I made a blog post last week and we posted it, and it's helped a lot of our clients, and it's helped people who are going to be potential clients. You can also use a free tool. PressReleaseGrader.com determines whether your story will help your SEO or not. So you can write up a blog post and submit it to PressReleaseGrader.com, and it'll tell you if it'll help you with your SEO or not. The next step is very time-consuming, but it's worth it. So do you want to do a lot of cold calling to get leads, to get people to your website? Not really. So how do you do it? It's all about networking and building relationships. So LinkedIn is a great source for this step. Here are the steps. You want to read others' blogs that are relevant to your business and industry. You want to comment on those blog postings. You want to eventually start a relationship through email with the person who's hosting a blog. You want to point them to other people's blogs, including yours. You can use email, you can use Twitter. These are great tools for doing this. You can even use StumbleUpon, Dig, or Google Reader. These are great platforms to share things with peers. Your end goal by doing this is that you want to get invited to write a guest article on others' blogs. You're showing your expertise. And again, that was the webinar that we did in our Social Media 101 series. How do you become an expert through social media? And so getting invited to write a guest article is a great way to do that. And it gets people to link back to your website. You get to link to resources on your blog and website in your article. And by doing this step, you build your network of followers. The last step is to create marketable content for others to read and promote your business. So link building takes time. It can take anywhere from 1 to 5 months if you're aggressive, or 2 to 3 years if you're not. But you have to do it. So especially if you're in your marketing department, work with your web design team. And if you don't have one, contact us or contact another company right away. Link building is very, very important because you want to get that traffic to your website. Now let's talk about your SEO plan. This planning is crucial because it's the last step of a successful website. It really helps you to prioritize, budget, and schedule both the required tasks and the staff and consultants required at the specific stages of the web development process. And it helps you with future search engine optimization and search engine marketing programs that you've already implemented. It really just consists of goals and objectives. So first of all, you have to define those. So you have to say, okay, what do I want people to know when they come to our website? What are we selling? What is our product or service? How are people going to search for us? Then you have to determine potential costs and budgets. Not everything is free. However, everything that I told you today has been free so far. So it keeps your overhead low, which is very important, especially in this economy. You can pay to raise your rank on search engines. However, here at Situa Research, we never promote that. We don't want people to pay. You want to organically build your SEO plan and your link building. The next thing that you want to do is prioritize your web pages for optimization. What pages should you get rid of? What pages should you combine? What should you do with each web page? And you want to create a plan for monitoring performance, your budget, and to determine if the goals and objectives are being achieved. So a lot of people, especially marketing people, are into analyzing and figuring out, well, what's our performance? You know, we do all these things. Are we getting anything out of it? A good free tool, again, something that's free, is marketing.grader.com. It used to be websitegrader.com. That's through HubSpot. But HubSpot now has graded so many websites that they now have come up with a free tool for marketing. So your overall marketing. And so it looks at your website, gives you a score out of 100, and it tells you how good your marketing is for your website. So anything over 80 is really good. Anything under still needs work. And anything over 90, you're pretty spot on. You're doing everything that you need to do. So check out that free tool. All you have to do, you don't have to give them a lot of information. You just put in the URL to your website and click Generate Report. You don't have to give them an email address, even though they have a link there for that. It's not a requirement. And then it pulls up a report for you, and it takes you through each step. Another great way to check your analytics on your website is Google Analytics, another free tool. Google Analytics shows you how people found your website, how they explored it, and how you can enhance your visitor experience. It shows you the demographics. It shows you the location of the people who are coming to your website. It shows you pages visited, time on those pages, where did they click on those pages, and so much more. So it's a great thing. It's free. The only downside to Google Analytics is that you have to understand the reporting, and you have to add a few lines of code to every page of your website. So you're going to have an IT person or a programmer do that for you, and then set up a Gmail account, and then set up a Google Analytics account. So depending on how many pages your website has, it could take a long time for you to embed that code within every page. Here at Situate Research, we offer that as a service, so it starts at $499 and goes up depending on how many pages you have. The $499 would be 1 to 200 pages. If you have any more, then we would need to evaluate and give you a quote for that. But you can do this as long as you can embed code, because Google Analytics has to be able to track each page. And they can only do it if you put that code within your current code of each page of your website. So if you need help with that, give us a ring. We'll go ahead and help you with that. So to achieve the top 5 requirements for website success, if you don't do it, you're not going to get a good ROI, your return on investment. You won't be found by search engines and internet users, and your website will be a whole waste of time. Everything that you've done up to this point will be a waste. So right now, I want to launch the first poll, and I want to know, does your company monitor your website using programs like Google Analytics? So just simply take your cursor and click on your answer. Yes, you do. No, you don't. Or you have no idea if your company monitors this or not. So a lot of you, as you're answering, we have about 55%, 60% now. So I want to get everybody to answer. This just helps me to get a better understanding of companies out there and if they are using Google Analytics or not. You really want to be using this free tool because it's free. It's a great way to figure out who's coming to your website and who's not. So I have 60% of the people who have voted, so I will just go ahead and close it. I was hoping everybody would vote, but that's okay. So we'll go ahead and close that, and I'm going to go ahead and share those results with you, actually. So 50% of you said yes, we do use Google Analytics or some other analytical tool. 25% of you said no, and 25% of you said that you don't have any idea. For those of you who said no or you have no idea, find out. Find out if you use it or not. Or find out what analytical tool you do use. And if you don't use anything, get on Google Analytics right away. Okay? So now we're going to talk about social media marketing. And we're going to talk about linking, link articles, and how to integrate social media into your website. So there are tons of key social platforms out there. There's photo sharing, blogging, microblogging, RSS feeds, widgets, etc., etc. The list goes on and on. You have to figure out for your business what's going to work best. Within social media, there's tons of things that you can be doing. You can be sharing on your blog using WordPress or Blogger. You can be sharing audio, doing podcasts or webinars. And you can be on networks like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. There are different avenues that your marketing department can take to get the word out about your website. But the thing is that you want to link. You want to get people to link back to your site. So you want clients to link back. You want people on LinkedIn to link back. You want people to subscribe to your RSS feed on your blog. You want people to link to you through Facebook, through your company website. You want everybody to be linking back to you. So how do you make a connection? Again, the best way to do this is to get a blog going. And on that blog, post relevant articles, images, and videos. Link to social media outlets. And integrate your blog within your website. What does that mean, blog integration? If you go to situateresearch.com, you can click on our blog in the menu option. And what you're going to see is that when you click on the blog looks and feels like the main website. So here's our home page of our website, and you click on the menu option blog, and you're taken to this page. So you can see it looks and feels just like the home page and the rest of the website. Here's a secret, folks. Our blog is through WordPress, and it's integrated within our website. So what we did is we manipulated the code of our blog, and we integrated it within our website. Now, many times you go to a website, and they do have a blog, but it takes you to WordPress.com, or it takes you to Blogger.com, or it takes you somewhere else. What happens then is that visitors leave your website, and then they start searching through your blog. And sometimes they can't click back and get to your website, or they forgot the URL, or they did a Google search, and now they can't remember how to get back to your website. So now they're stuck on your blog. And that wasn't the reason why you wanted a blog integrated. You wanted people to order your products or to ask about your services. So by integrating your blog within your website like this, you keep people on your website. Number one, you keep everything consistent. This all has to do with usability and the overall user experience. Users want to stay on your website. They don't want to be taken somewhere else. So integrating your blog is a great idea. Here you can see that this is a blog post. This is our blog, and people can subscribe to the RSS feed in the upper right-hand corner. And what that means is that they subscribe to our blogs. Every time we have a new blog post, they're going to get an email. And they're going to know exactly what we're posting. So if they're interested in usability, web design, video game usability, software usability, they're going to subscribe to our blog and be updated whenever we update it. You can also see at the bottom of this particular post that we have all of our social media outlets listed. You want to integrate your social media outlets into your website. So we did it within our blog, but we also do it at the bottom of our website pages as well so that people can easily connect with us. On websites, you want to make it as easy as possible for people to contact you. And the best way is through social media outlets. It's the key to success. So if you have a bar like the first one where you just have a bunch of social media outlets just in a bar at the bottom of your page, that's not good. A much better integration looks like this, and this is how ours looks on every page of our website. You've got Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, email, and RSS feed. That's all you want. Those are the most effective social media platforms, the most effective ways for people to connect to you. So if you need help with that, let your IT department know that this is the correct way to do it, that you want it on your website. And if you don't have an IT department or a webmaster, contact us, we'll help you out. So this is the home page of our website, and as you can see, we have a scrolling blog post coverage on our home page where all the blog posts that we have on our blog kind of rotate. And so people can see that as soon as they come to our website. We want people to get to our blog. We want to show them our expertise and give them information that's free. At the bottom, you can see that we have our RSS feed button, so people can click on it and subscribe to our blog as well. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for people to subscribe. The other great thing about integrating a blog within your website is that people can share it right away. Remember I showed you the screen where all your social media outlets are listed at the bottom of each blog post? It makes it very easy that once someone reads that blog post and they say, hey, this would be great to share, then they just click one of the social media buttons and they can share it. Facebook is great because you can share easily a URL, images, or a brief description. You can stream stories and you can share deeper and richer content along with users' comments. It links back to your company site. You can host stories and it gets you inbound links. So when you go to our blog and you read a blog post and you click share on Facebook, this screen pops up and you can share it on your page, on your company's page, whatever you want to do. You can write a little comment. We said great new blog post. You can write whatever you want to get people's attention. If there are any photos within that blog post, they'll pop up here. If there are several, you can pick and choose which one you want on the post. Gives you the title, a link, and you just say share link and go to your Facebook page and it'll be there. So it's just an easy way to share blog posts. So social media marketing is huge. You want to link to articles. Almost every media outlet out there has an online version of articles. I get the Wall Street Journal every morning. And so I'll find articles there in the tech section. And I'll go on to the online version and I'll find that same story that I think that our users would want to see, and I post it to our Facebook page every morning. So you can share any version of what you see in physical online. So if you have a local newspaper, just Google it. It'll come up, find the online version, and share the articles that you want to share. Find relevant articles, though. Just don't share weird stuff that has nothing to do with your company. This is going to drive traffic to your website. It's going to show that you're an expert, show that you are always informed within your industry. Include your website URL in every email and every post. Okay, so after posting a comment on someone's blog, post your name and post a URL to your website. This establishes a link from that blog story back to your companies. Always have that available so people can link to you. On all of our blog posts, and you should too, at the end of the blog post, put who wrote the blog post. So if it was an online source, put the name of the online source and make it linkable back to their website. Then say posted by Situated Research and put a link back to your website, whether you integrate your blog into your website or not. This is just good practice, because if someone shares this blog post on their blog and they copy it, you want to make sure that your links are there back to your website. Always say who wrote what you're posting. You necessarily may not have wrote what you posted. So again, you want to make sure that you have that person's name, give them credit, and also make sure that you have a link back to their website. Also, another thing, if you go to someone's blog and you want to share a story, or you go to someone's website and you see a story, always ask for permission first. And we go over that in our Social Media 101 series, but always ask for permission first before you post it. Most of the time, 95% of the time, they say, yes, please share it. There's 5% of the time where people will say, no, you know, I wrote that, I don't want it on your website. So asking permission is just a good practice. So again, this shows that you're an industry expert. It presents yourself as an educator, and it shows that within your industry, you're always researching, you're always active within your industry. Only respond or post relevant content within your field, and respond to feedback. If someone writes a question or posts a comment, make sure you respond. And we say maintain a pulse on what your customers and prospects are saying about you or the brand you represent. Just don't post something and let it be, and don't monitor it. Because that shows people that you just posted it to get traffic to your site, to get customers, and you're not trying to help your users, which is what you should be wanting to do. Also involve the audience. You can do viral marketing. You can ask the audience to participate in polls or surveys. Use Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, MySpace, whatever social media outlet you want to get the word out if you do a poll or survey. So right now we're going to do a poll. I want to launch our last poll for the day. And I want to know, have you already implemented a blog into your company website? So yes, you have. No, you haven't. You don't have any idea, or you guys are thinking about it. So definitely just click on your answer, and then we'll go ahead and move on from here as soon as everybody has clicked on their answer here. So far I'm seeing that 13% of you have, 38% of you haven't, and 50% of you are thinking about it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and close that. Thank you for answering those questions. It just helps us to gauge, for future webinars, what we should be focusing on, future topics, etc. So let's talk more about areas of SEO. And here we're going to get into kind of the nitty-gritty of SEO. We're going to talk a little techie here. So if you're not technologically inclined, you can just kind of not listen here or take notes for your IT team. Areas of SEO that you want to make sure that you have within the code of every page of your website are tags, images. You also want to look at the domain life of your URL for your website. If your website URL is not purchased 2 years out, let's say it's supposed to expire less than a year, search engines won't even rank your website because they say, okay, this company doesn't feel that their website's going to be around in the next year, so they haven't purchased outside of the 2-year range. And so I have tons of friends that work at Google who I've heard this from, and I've heard it through just doing my own research. And if you go to marketing.grader.com, HubSpot, they also review your domain life as well and show that it applies to SEO. It applies to if search engines are actually going to rank your website. So that's important. Inbound links is important. You also want to do submissions to different directories to make sure that your website is searchable. Again, the integrated blog is really going to help you out, and social media is going to help you out, getting out there, because it's going to convert qualified visitors that come to your website to leads. It's going to help you. So as far as tags go, we're talking about metadata tags. So these allow you to tell the search engines what your web page is about. So embedded within the code of every page of your website, you should have page titles, because these page titles tell search engines what is this page going to be about. You have to also have page descriptions, which consist of a sentence. It's basically an abstract of what the page is going to be about. And that sentence should be embedded within the content of that page, should be located somewhere on that page. And then you want those keywords. And these are the topics that will be on every page. So if you are not technologically inclined and you want to know if your website is SEO optimized, a great way to do this is just go to your website and right-click and click Page View Resource, View Page Resource. And go ahead and click Control F and type in title, description, keywords. If you have those items within the code of that particular page that you're on, they'll pop up. If you don't, then they won't pop up, and you know that you have an SEO problem. You can also not do Control F and just look at the first couple lines of code, because your page title, page description, and keywords should be there. And this is something that a non-techie person can do, and you can do it on any website. You can go to your competitors' websites, and that's how you do your keyword research, to see what keywords they're using. Sometimes that's a question that comes up. How do I know what my competitors are doing? Just go to their website, go to each page, do that right-click, view page source, and you can see exactly what they put in their code. Very simple. Anyone can do it. Images. Any images that you have on your website can be enhanced with the user perspective. So you want to make sure that any images that you have on each page of your website are crawlable, because search engines can't crawl images. So within the code of the website, you have to have tags for each photo so that Google and other search engines will index those pages. Because if you have pages with a bunch of photos, let's say you have a shopping cart, that page of your website will not be indexed unless you have tags for each photo embedded within the website. So you use alt attributes within your coding, because this allows web pages to assign specific text to the images. Domain information. So what you do to promote your website to get more inbound links to your site. So register with directories, register the URL to your website to directories that are relevant to your industry, and get more pages into the search engine indexes. Use off-page SEO. We had a whole SEO webinar that was recorded. It was Advanced Strategies to SEO, so check that out to learn what off-page SEO is. Search engines factor in the domain stability when looking at your website. So the longer you've purchased your domain for, the more stable it is. So we suggest buying 2 years at a time. Google interprets a link from page A to page B as a vote. So this is all SEO and how Google and other search engines rank your website, what they're looking for. So Google actually looks at more than just the sheer volume of votes. They'll analyze the page that the vote was cast on. So votes casted by pages that are themselves important weigh more heavily and help to make other pages important because they're linkable. So linking pages within your website is a good idea to do. We talked about link anchor text earlier. Make sure that you're doing that. Make sure that you're linking your pages together within your website, and that's all with your content. Again, one of the most important measures for a website is how many other sites are linking back to it. The more links, the better. So having links to your website from authoritative resources on the internet helps you to rank higher in search engines, because these links are an indication that your website is trustworthy, contains good content, and is relevant to your users. They want to share your website. It's important. Make sure that you submit your URL to different directories, to Domaz, to Yahoo, to ZoomInfo. These are all free, and it's computerized. So search engines are looking at human-reviewed directories as a list of websites that are most trustworthy. So make sure that your URLs, your websites, are linked to as many directories as you can. And again, blogs are very important. Getting those inbound links raises your SEO score. So blogging just makes sense from a marketing perspective. You'll be leveraging the shift from outbound to inbound marketing and interacting with your customers in new ways. A blog lets you meet your customers more directly than sending out brochures or an email campaign. And if you're in your marketing department, you know this. It changes your website from a brochure that most people look at once to something that people interact with and come back to. Sometimes on a daily basis, we have people coming back to our website just to see if we've updated anything, to go to our blog and see new comments that people have posted under a particular blog post that they're interested in. So it keeps traffic coming. Blogging is a great way to reach your target audience with your thoughts, opinions, offerings, relevant topics, etc. You can dig all of your submissions. You can tweet about them. I mean, think about it. If you're on Twitter and you have 10,000 people following you and you post a new blog post, that goes out to all those 10,000 people that you otherwise wouldn't be able to reach. So social media integration is just huge. It's not going anywhere, as we talked about earlier. And it helps you to make sure that your company has an extensive web presence outside of your own website. It increases the chances that your prospects will find your company when they are online, since there are more web pages that contain information about your company. So social media really gets the word out to as many people as you want and beyond. The next thing that I want to talk to you about real briefly, and I know that we've hit the hour mark, so if you have to go, don't worry about it. The webinar is recorded. But you want to get, finally, to converting qualified visitors to leads. Visitors to your site is great. You know, you can have a counter on your website and you could be getting 10,000 hits a day. But does it really matter if those people don't convert to qualified leads. So having an RSS feed, having people subscribe to your blog is important because they're going to follow you. I've had people who have followed us for the last 4 years. We just hit our 4-year mark here at Situated Research. And I've had people following us since the beginning. And now they're becoming clients. They're like, I've been following you since 2008. I'm like, really? Yeah, through your blog. I subscribed to your RSS feed and I've been following you. Wow. The other way to convert visitors to leads is through conversion forms, contact us forms. Landing pages are great as well. We have landing pages for our social media marketing campaign. And we have pages for our free usability report that I talked about earlier. And there are other landing pages on our website as well. We get lead capturing that way. Now, a big concern about taking your website to the next level is should your website go mobile? Okay, so should I make my website a mobile version? So in order to decide if you should have a mobile version of your website, you need to answer one question. Are your users on mobile devices? I think this is a duh answer. Everyone's on a mobile device, whether it be an iPad, an iPhone, a smartphone, whatever. So the answer should be yes. Is it hard to convert your main website into a mobile version? No. Does it cost something to do that? Yes, it does. But it doesn't have to cost $1 gazillion. It's maybe $2,000 and up, just depending on how big you want the mobile version. The mobile version of your site is just a condensed version of your main website. So the answer should be yes. Now some companies say, well, you know, everybody has an app now. Should my company have a mobile app? Well, does your company offer a service? Do you need navigation? So you're a university and you want map navigation or information that you're giving to your students would be an example of this. Do you provide information to people? Do you have people log into a database to get information, to update profiles, to order products? Then you probably should have a mobile app. Mobile apps can be inexpensive and they can go up in price to, you know, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 depending on what the functionality of that mobile app will be. So you have to decide for your company, is it a good idea? Do we need it? And another great way to figure out if you do or not, check out your competition. If your competition has a mobile app, you definitely want to get one. So contact a company that knows how to do that. Here at Situated Research, we obviously do make mobile website versions of your main website, and we also do mobile apps, mobile app development. So just contact us and we can help you to make that decision. I found this on Mashable.com today, and it's apps versus mobile websites, one or the other. And it kind of shows you smartphone usage and how many people are text messaging per month, how many minutes on their smartphone, how many people are on apps on their smartphone, the average number of minutes, voicemail, and then websites. And so you can see that people are on apps. People are on mobile versions of websites. So it just kind of shows you, you know, apps versus mobile websites, one or the other. Here at Situated Research, I definitely would say have a mobile version of your website because everybody's on a mobile device. It just makes sense from a marketing perspective. And as far as the mobile app, you need to weigh the options and say, okay, my competition has an app, we need to have an app. Or we offer this service, it would be great if we had a little mobile app that helped our clients. Anything that assists your users appreciate, and if they appreciate it, they're going to tell other people and you're going to get more business. So just good business practice here. So now we're going to get to Q&A. So those questions that you typed in as we went along, we're going to go ahead and answer now if there are any questions. And if you have questions, just type them in your questions box. And I'm going to put up our contact information right now for you. So again, our company is called Situated Research. There's the URL, our email, and our phone number. All of our social media links for you. Remember, today's webinar was recorded. So it will be available on our YouTube channel as well as iTunes and our website later on this evening. Remember that you want to have a blog integrated within your website. And it should be a WordPress blog because WordPress is the most professional blogging tool out there right now. So if you're looking to integrate a blog within your website or you want a WordPress blog and you don't know how to get started or how to do that, contact us. Anyone who attends today's webinar, we will do it for $450 flat fee. Normally to integrate a WordPress blog is $2,200. So today only we'll do it for $450. We also have our social media course. So if you're not into social media right now or you're not too sure what the benefits are, you're not too sure how to do the analytics, figure out your conversion rates, etc., take the class. It's $99. Just go to the webinar page of our website and you can sign up there for it. Also, if you want Google Analytics integrated into your website, we're doing a flat rate for everyone who attended today for $499. Usually, we charge $2,200 to do that. So it's a huge savings for you guys. We had so many people who attended today, almost 1,500 people, that we wanted to give you guys these special offers. So definitely condensed prices today. And check out our webinar schedule. We're going to have another webinar on Friday. And we're going to have new webinars coming up on different topics, so definitely check that out as well. So now we're going to go to the Q&A section of the webinar, and we're going to see if there are any questions first of all. Okay, I'm just reading through. There's a lot of comments thanking me for the webinar, so I do appreciate that. Let's see. Okay, it's just it's just a lot of comments thanking me for the webinar. Let's see. There is one question about viewing page source. When we talked about page titles, descriptions, and keywords, they want to know if we address that in our free usability report, and actually we do. In that free usability report, we go over 20 different areas of usability. Again, your menu navigation, content, layout of the website. We actually have users who test your website to generate that free report. We also look to see if your website looks good on a mobile device. Do you have a mobile version of your website? We also look at page titles, page descriptions, and keywords. So we do look at that. With the free usability report, we do have an account exec who goes over that, so they'll call you, they'll go through it with you step by step and answer any questions that you have. And with that, we don't go through any plans with you for SEO. We just go through the report because it is free. And if you want a plan or specific help with your SEO, that of course would be a service that we could offer to you. So just mention that you attended this webinar. We'll look up your name and verify it, and we'll give you some sort of discount. I don't have a problem doing that. That was one of the questions that we got. Okay. Okay, and there's some more specific questions to people's companies and to their industries that I'm not going to address here. What I'll do is I'll simply send you a private email with the answers to those questions. So I don't see anything else, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and leave up our contact information for you for the next couple of minutes. And I want to thank all of you for attending today, participating in the polls. And again, if you need anything, have any questions, just email us at info@situateresearch.com. Again, I want to thank you all for attending today and have a great rest of your day.